There is a force within you, a divine intelligence, that responds instantly to your words, your thoughts, and your conscious declarations. Life, in all its richness and abundance, is not something to be stumbled upon, it is something to be commanded. Every morning, as the day unfolds like a golden scroll before you, you have the power to speak into existence the life you desire. Words are not mere sounds, they are potent instruments of creation. They are seeds, and when spoken with faith, they blossom into experiences, circumstances, and opportunities far beyond what the mind can conceive. The first step in commanding your fortune is to realize that your spoken word is a decree. When you awaken each morning, the universe listens intently to your inner dialogue. If your thoughts are of fear, limitation, or lack, then you are inadvertently drawing those very conditions to yourself. But if your words are bold, positive, and resolute, the universe responds with equal readiness to fulfill your declarations. You are not a passive passenger in the voyage of life. You are the captain, the navigator, and the commander. Every morning presents a sacred opportunity to align yourself with the highest flow of life. By consciously affirming certain truths, you set the vibration that attracts success, health, abundance, and joy. It is not enough to merely hope or wish for these blessings. Hope is weak and uncertain, but a clear, repeated statement spoken with conviction carries power that cannot be denied. As you stand before the mirror, or as you sit in quiet reflection, your words become the instrument through which the invisible is made visible. There is an art to this practice, a rhythm to speaking the words that awaken the currents of good fortune. Each affirmation is a declaration of faith, an acceptance of the infinite intelligence that governs all things. When spoken with sincerity, these statements dissolve obstacles, release old fears, and magnetize opportunities into your life. The mind, when focused and disciplined, becomes a tool of extraordinary creative power, shaping circumstances, relationships, and material conditions to mirror the reality you have courageously chosen to speak into being. It is not chance, nor circumstance, nor the will of others that determines your destiny. It is your own inner declaration, repeated, believed, and embodied, that directs the stream of life. Every morning, when you tell yourself the right words, you open the channels through which wealth, love, success, and health flow effortlessly. These words are not mere affirmations. They are commands to the unseen forces of the universe. They are the keys that unlock doors you may have thought were forever closed. As you listen to these words within your heart, feel them resonate in your very being. Let them be spoken with courage, faith, and joy. They are the instruments through which the invisible will become visible, and your fortune, your destiny, your highest good will be drawn to you as naturally as the tide flows to the shore. I am a magnet for divine abundance in all forms. These words are not merely a casual statement. They are a declaration that aligns the invisible forces of the universe with the deepest desires of my heart. Every thought, every word I speak, carries a vibration, and this vibration either attracts or repels the circumstances I wish to experience. By affirming that I am a magnet for divine abundance, I am not asking the universe to notice me. I am announcing that I already exist in perfect harmony with the flow of life, and that all good things are naturally drawn to me. Abundance is not a distant dream or a fleeting wish. It is my inherent right, my divine inheritance, and it responds immediately to the clarity of my thought and the power of my spoken word. I recognize that abundance is not limited to money alone. It comes in infinite forms, health that radiates vitality through every cell of my body, relationships that uplift and nurture my soul, opportunities that expand my growth and creativity, and a sense of joy and peace that permeates every moment of my existence. When I declare that I am a magnet for divine abundance, I am opening myself to receive the fullness of life in every area. I am not bound by scarcity or limitation because the universe is infinite, and its resources are without measure. Every morning, as I awaken, I breathe in the truth that there is more than enough for everyone, and by claiming this truth for myself, I align with a current of prosperity that is inexhaustible and ever-present. The universe operates by a law of attraction that is as exact as the rising sun. What I think, feel, and speak becomes the mold in which my experiences are shaped. By affirming abundance, I plant seeds in the fertile soil of the unseen, seeds that grow silently but inevitably into tangible realities. I do not argue with lack, nor do I focus on what is missing. I do not allow the illusion of limitation to take root in my consciousness. Instead, I hold a clear and unwavering vision of all the richness that is my birthright. As I think and speak these words, I am creating a magnetic field around myself that draws toward me everything I need, everything I desire, and everything that will uplift my life and the lives of others. Every obstacle that appears is a signal, a divine hint guiding me to greater clarity and alignment. When I affirm my magnetism for abundance, I am not only attracting the blessings I see, but also the invisible opportunities that often come disguised as challenges. I recognize that every experience, whether labeled good or bad, is ultimately a messenger of growth and expansion. Nothing is wasted in the universe. Every encounter, every event, and every circumstance contributes to the shaping of my life in perfect harmony with divine will. I do not resist the flow by doubting or fearing. I meet each moment with faith and confidence, knowing that my magnetic power is always at work, bringing to me all that is mine by divine right. I cultivate a consciousness of gratitude, for gratitude is the amplifier of abundance. When I focus on the blessings I already enjoy, no matter how small, I increase the magnetic power of my affirmation. Every act of appreciation multiplies the invisible currents of prosperity and joy. I understand that the universe responds not to my complaints, my doubts, or my hesitations, but to the clarity of my vision and the certainty of my faith. By speaking daily, with conviction, that I am a magnet for divine abundance, I am not only changing my circumstances but transforming my inner world into a radiant field of attraction, where the highest good flows to me effortlessly and continuously. I let go of comparison, envy, and fear of lack. These are the poisons that weaken my magnetism and cloud my perception. Instead, I embrace the truth that the universe is limitless, that there is more than enough for everyone, and that my prosperity does not diminish the prosperity of another. By holding this truth, I reinforce my alignment with divine abundance, creating a life that is generous, expansive, and harmonious. I speak positively about my present and my future, for words are the instruments of creation, and each affirmation is a command to the unseen forces to bring forth the richness that is my rightful portion. The creative power within me is not dependent on external conditions. I do not wait for opportunity to knock. I summon it through the certainty of my declarations. Each morning, I awaken with the intention to magnetize all that is good, to attract experiences, people, and circumstances that serve my highest good. I am vigilant in my thought, careful in my speech, and steadfast in my faith, knowing that the unseen world responds instantly to the power of my inner conviction. I do not shrink from greatness. I do not hesitate in claiming what is naturally mine. Abundance flows to me because I am aligned, because I am a conscious participant in the universal law that governs all prosperity, and because I speak daily with clarity, courage, and joy. I recognize the interplay of divine guidance and my own conscious intention. My magnetism for abundance is enhanced by my willingness to follow intuitive nudges, to act boldly on inspiration, and to see opportunity where others see limitation. I do not doubt the wisdom of the unseen. I embrace it fully, knowing that every thought, word, and action rooted in faith carries the weight of manifestation. As I repeat this affirmation, I feel it resonate through every fiber of my being, stirring a powerful current that draws into my life all that is necessary for my success, my happiness, and my fulfillment. I am a magnet for divine abundance in all forms. The words are alive, carrying energy that reshapes my inner landscape and rearranges the outer world in harmony with my desires. With every breath, I affirm my connection to the infinite source of supply, and with every action, I reinforce my alignment with prosperity, health, love, and joy. I do not question, I do not hesitate, and I do not entertain doubt. The universe knows me, hears me, and responds to the unwavering clarity of my declaration, drawing to me the blessings that are mine to receive. Every obstacle is a pathway to greater opportunity. This truth is one of the most profound laws of life, though it often remains hidden behind appearances. The moment difficulty arises, it is natural to feel hesitation, fear, or resistance. Yet these are the very signals that the universe is presenting an opening, a doorway to a higher plane of experience. Obstacles are not interruptions, they are guides, teaching us patience, discernment, and the art of alignment with the infinite intelligence that governs all things. When I encounter a challenge, I do not shrink or resist, for I know that the universe never presents a circumstance without purpose, and that every seeming obstruction contains within it the seeds of expansion, advancement, and unseen blessings. I recognize that life operates on the principle of cause and effect, yet my perception is often limited by appearances. What seems to be a limitation, a block, or a delay is merely the outer form, while the inner reality is a hidden opportunity waiting to be revealed. By understanding this, I shift my consciousness from fear to faith, from doubt to confidence, and from frustration to clarity. Every obstacle becomes a teacher, every difficulty becomes a message, and every challenge becomes a stepping stone toward greater achievement. I do not allow external circumstances to dictate my inner state, for my thoughts and words carry the power to transform any situation into a conduit for growth, prosperity, and joy. The mind, when disciplined and directed, has the ability to see the invisible purpose behind every visible barrier. I train my mind to look beyond the surface, to perceive the blessing hidden in every trial. This practice transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, the mundane into the miraculous. I understand that obstacles are not punishments, nor are they indicators of failure. They are invitations to rise, to expand, and to assert the divine power within me. As I encounter challenges, I pause to affirm that every situation is working for my highest good, that every difficulty is a portal to greater wisdom, and that every restriction carries within it the opportunity for liberation, abundance, and success. I do not fear failure, for I know that failure is but an illusion created by the untrained mind. What others may call defeat, I recognize as divine instruction, a redirection that guides me toward a more perfect outcome. Every obstacle forces me to focus, to refine my vision, and to strengthen my faith. It removes what is unnecessary, clears the path of confusion, and sharpens my discernment. In this way, challenges are blessings in disguise, revealing to me the precise steps I must take to manifest my desires. I do not resist them, I do not complain, and I do not lament. I embrace them with courage, knowing that they are the instruments through which the universe conspires to bring forth my greatest good. Faith is the key that unlocks the hidden treasures within obstacles. By affirming that every challenge is a pathway to opportunity, I condition my mind to recognize solutions rather than problems, to perceive lessons rather than limitations. The law of attraction responds to my consciousness, and when I focus on the potential, the unseen forces of the universe align to bring it into manifestation. I do not wait for circumstances to become favorable. I create favorability through my thoughts, words, and actions. Every obstacle yields to the power of my faith. Every difficulty bends to the strength of my positive expectation, and every challenge becomes the doorway through which greater opportunity enters my life. I cultivate patience and perseverance, understanding that divine timing governs all events. Some opportunities are immediate, while others require the maturation of circumstances. Obstacles often serve as the refining process, strengthening my resolve, clarifying my intentions, and perfecting the conditions for my highest good. I do not rush, I do not despair, and I do not become discouraged, for I know that the universe is always working in my favor, even when appearances suggest otherwise. Each challenge is a mirror reflecting my inner state, showing me where faith is strong and where it requires reinforcement. By maintaining a steadfast belief in the unseen, I magnetize solutions, guidance, and blessings that surpass my present comprehension. Gratitude amplifies my ability to transform obstacles into opportunity. When I give thanks for difficulties as well as for successes, I acknowledge the hidden purpose in all things. I do not resist the flow of life by lamenting challenges. I meet them with appreciation, for they carry the instruction, the energy, and the momentum necessary to elevate my consciousness. The universe responds to my gratitude, revealing paths, solutions, and possibilities that were previously invisible. By speaking words of faith and affirmation, I call forth the creative power that turns obstacles into stepping stones, struggles into lessons, and limitations into gateways of expansion. I release fear and doubt, for these are the only real blocks to my progress. No external circumstance has power over me unless I give it that power through my own thoughts and words. By affirming that every obstacle is a pathway to greater opportunity, I claim mastery over my inner world, and by extension, the outer world. I see opportunity where others see failure. I find solutions where others see problems, and I perceive blessing where others perceive loss. My mind becomes a magnet for insight. My heart becomes a reservoir of courage, and my soul becomes a beacon for the unseen forces that guide, protect, and sustain me. I embrace action, knowing that opportunity requires movement. Obstacles call forth creativity, initiative, and determination. By taking deliberate steps, guided by intuition and faith, I convert potential into reality. I do not wait passively for doors to open. I walk boldly toward them, knowing that every barrier contains a key, every difficulty contains a solution, and every challenge contains the opportunity for expansion. The universe conspires in my favor when I act with confidence, courage, and clarity, and every obstacle I encounter becomes a teacher, a guide, and a pathway to the greater life I am destined to live. I understand the infinite intelligence of the universe is always at work for me. Every obstacle is part of a divine plan, every difficulty is a messenger, and every seeming limitation is a stepping stone. By affirming daily that obstacles are pathways to opportunity, I attune myself to the invisible currents of life, drawing guidance, inspiration, and resources that lead me to success, abundance, and fulfillment. My thoughts, words, and actions are aligned with this principle, and through them, I transform every challenge into a conduit for blessing, every struggle into a moment of revelation, and every limitation into a gateway of infinite possibilities. I speak only words that create health, joy, and prosperity. Every word I utter is a seed sown into the fertile soil of the invisible, and each carries a power that either builds or diminishes the life I experience. Words are not casual, they are instruments of creation, and the universe responds to them with perfect precision. When I choose words that uplift, rage, and affirm my highest good, I am not merely expressing a wish, I am issuing a command to the unseen forces that govern all conditions. Health is drawn to me because I speak vitality. Joy is drawn to me because I declare happiness. Prosperity is drawn to me because I affirm abundance. Every statement becomes a magnet, attracting the life I desire, and every negative utterance repels it, creating resistance where there could be flow. I am vigilant in my speech, aware that idle complaints, fears, and doubts have a momentum of their own. To speak of sickness, lack, or misfortune is to invite these very conditions into my life. Instead, I choose words that resonate with life, energy, and possibility. I affirm health by declaring the perfection of my body, the strength of my mind, and the vitality of my spirit. I affirm joy by embracing gratitude, delight, and peace, knowing that happiness is not something to be chased, but something to be recognized and claimed within my consciousness. I affirm prosperity by acknowledging that abundance is my birthright, unlimited and unrestrained, flowing freely into every area of my existence. Every morning, as I awaken, I set the tone for my entire day with words of faith and assurance. I speak of success before it manifests. I affirm peace before chaos appears, and I declare abundance before it arrives. By doing this, I establish a magnetic field around myself, drawing toward me people, opportunities, and circumstances that are in harmony with my declarations. My words do not merely describe reality, they create it. The universe hears my inner dialogue and responds with precise intelligence, arranging conditions that reflect the quality, clarity, and conviction of my speech. I recognize that health, joy, and prosperity are interconnected. When I affirm one, it strengthens the others. By declaring health, I bring clarity and vitality to my mind and body, which enhances my ability to recognize and receive joy. By affirming joy, I cultivate a sense of peace and gratitude that opens channels for prosperity. By declaring prosperity, I release fear and limitation, creating space for health and happiness to flourish. Each word spoken with faith is a reinforcement of the natural law that what I affirm inwardly is mirrored outwardly. I also understand the importance of consistency. One casual word of doubt may be overshadowed by days of deliberate affirmation, yet repeated statements of faith, hope, and certainty build a momentum that is unstoppable. The unseen forces of the universe respond not only to the content of my words, but to the consistency, sincerity, and power with which I speak them. By maintaining a daily practice of affirming health, joy, and prosperity, I align myself with the invisible currents that carry blessings into manifestation. I am alert to the inner dialogue that occurs without speech, for even unspoken thoughts shape my reality. I replace every thought of limitation with affirmation of abundance, every worry with assurance of health, and every complaint with gratitude. The mind is a mirror, reflecting the nature of the words I choose to dwell upon. By maintaining a discipline of positive creative speech, I transform my circumstances, my experiences, and the very essence of my life. I understand that these words carry more than surface meaning. They carry the vibration of life itself. To speak words that create health, joy, and prosperity is to tune myself to the divine intelligence that orchestrates all abundance. I am a channel, a magnet, and a participant in this law, and each word I speak reinforces my connection to the infinite source of good, shaping every experience, encounter, and opportunity that unfolds before me. The universe responds instantly to my faith-filled declarations. This is a law as sure and precise as the rising sun, and it operates whether I am conscious of it or not. Every word I speak, every thought I entertain, and every feeling I hold carries a vibration that moves the unseen forces into action. Faith is the key that unlocks the door to manifestation, and when I declare with certainty what I desire, the universe arranges conditions, circumstances, and events to bring it into form. I do not wait for signs or external validation, for I understand that the creative power of my mind and spirit sets the stage for all that is to appear. My words are commands, my thoughts are instruments, and my faith is the bridge connecting the invisible to the visible. I know that doubt and hesitation weaken the magnetic power of my declarations. Every uncertainty delays the flow of blessings and creates a subtle resistance in the currents of life. Therefore, I speak with clarity, conviction, and joy, knowing that the universe hears my intention and responds to its certainty. Faith is not passive. It is an active force, a declaration that my desire is already in existence even if it has not yet appeared in physical form. When I maintain unwavering faith, I align myself with the infinite intelligence that governs all abundance, and I become a living magnet for all that is good, right, and true. I cultivate the awareness that faith is both the seed and the soil of creation. By holding a clear image of the outcome I desire, I give the unseen world a pattern to follow. I do not concern myself with the how, when, or where, for those details are the work of the infinite mind. My role is to declare with certainty, to feel the reality of my words as though they have already manifested, and to maintain a consciousness that knows no contradiction. In this state, obstacles cannot deter me, and limitations have no power, because faith creates a magnetic field that draws circumstances, people, and events in perfect alignment with my declaration. I understand that instant response does not always mean immediate physical appearance, for time is the stage upon which divine orchestration unfolds. Yet the universe is already moving. The unseen forces are arranging every detail, shaping every condition, and opening doors in perfect order. My faith is the lens through which I perceive these arrangements, and my awareness allows me to recognize and act upon them. By affirming with confidence, I cooperate with the unseen intelligence, becoming a conscious participant in the manifestation of my desires, rather than a passive observer of life. I release all fear and impatience, for these are the only barriers to the instant response of the universe. Worry is a contradiction, a signal that undermines the power of faith, and I choose instead to dwell in certainty and expectation. I speak as though my desire is already fulfilled, and in doing so, I create a vibration that cannot be denied. Every word of faith is a command that the universe answers with precision, and every affirmation of certainty draws invisible forces into perfect alignment with my highest good. I recognize that the creative law is impartial and precise. It does not question my worthiness, it does not negotiate with my doubts, and it does not delay due to uncertainty. It simply responds to the vibration I maintain. Therefore, I guard my words, my thoughts, and my emotions, understanding that the quality of my inner life determines the quality of my outer manifestations. By consistently affirming with faith, I magnetize the people, opportunities, and circumstances that reflect my desires, and I establish a pattern of life that is harmonious, abundant, and filled with ease. Faith is a living power, a conscious force that transforms invisible potential into visible reality. Each declaration I make with confidence is an invitation to the universe to demonstrate its intelligence and power. I trust in this process, knowing that the moment I declare, the universe responds, setting into motion a chain of events that cannot fail to bring my desire into existence. My faith is unwavering, my words are precise, and my awareness is attuned to the endless supply of the unseen, which moves instantly to fulfill every honest, clear, and joy-filled declaration I make. I release all fear and embrace my highest good with confidence. Fear is the only power that can obscure the abundance, health, and joy that are my divine inheritance, and I choose consciously to let it go. I understand that fear is a creation of the mind, a thought form that can be dissolved by the light of faith and the clarity of my declarations. Each time I encounter fear, I recognize it as a signal that I am thinking contrary to my true power, and I replace it immediately with words that affirm safety, security, and divine protection. By doing so, I open myself to the infinite intelligence of the universe, which always moves in my favor when I act in courage, love, and confidence. I affirm that my life is guided by a power far greater than any circumstance, challenge, or limitation. No situation has authority over me unless I give it that authority through doubt or hesitation. By choosing to release fear, I reclaim the power that belongs to me, the power to shape my circumstances, attract blessings, and live in alignment with my highest good. I am aware that the unseen forces respond instantly to my mental state, to the vibration of my thoughts and words, and to the clarity with which I embrace my truth. When I hold fearless confidence, the universe arranges conditions, people, and opportunities to reflect that inner certainty, bringing forth experiences that mirror the faith I maintain. I understand that fear is often disguised as caution, hesitation, or concern, yet even subtle worry diminishes the magnetic power of my affirmations. I meet these subtle forms of fear with immediate recognition and correction, replacing them with words that uplift, empower, and strengthen my connection to the unseen forces. I declare daily that I am safe, that I am guided, and that all things work together for my highest good. This conscious practice aligns me with divine wisdom, transforms obstacles into opportunities, and ensures that every step I take is supported by infinite intelligence. I embrace the knowing that confidence is not arrogance, nor is it dependent upon the approval of others. True confidence arises from understanding my connection to the infinite, from knowing that I am a living expression of divine intelligence, and from acknowledging that the supply of the universe is abundant and limitless. Each time I release fear and choose faith, I reinforce this connection, becoming a beacon for circumstances that reflect the highest good. Confidence is a declaration to the universe that I am ready, that I am worthy, and that I am aligned with all that is good, abundant, and uplifting. I recognize that fear blocks the flow of abundance, clouds the mind, and creates resistance in the channels through which good is delivered. By releasing fear, I remove the invisible barriers that prevent my blessings from manifesting. I speak words of courage, faith, and assurance, and each word acts as a magnet, drawing health, prosperity, joy, and love into my life. I do not allow past failures, external criticisms, or imagined limitations to influence my thoughts, for I understand that the past has no power over the present moment except that which I choose to give it. By holding steadfast to faith, I create an environment in which my highest good can manifest without obstruction. I affirm daily that every experience, every person, and every circumstance serves my growth, expansion, and ultimate well-being. Fear diminishes when I focus upon the divine intelligence at work in all things, guiding, protecting, and orchestrating conditions to fulfill my desires. I am vigilant in maintaining this awareness, knowing that consistency of thought and speech strengthens the magnetic power of my declarations. By releasing fear and embracing my highest good with confidence, I move through life with clarity, courage, and joy, and I magnetize experiences that reflect the infinite, supply, wisdom, and love of the universe. I know that confidence is a force that multiplies itself. Each step taken with faith reinforces the next, creating a rhythm of success, abundance, and joy that becomes unstoppable. By continually choosing to release fear, I align myself with the natural flow of life, allowing guidance, inspiration, and blessings to reach me without obstruction. My words, thoughts, and feelings harmonize with the law of life, and in this harmony, I discover a power that transforms challenges into triumphs, limitations into opportunities, and dreams into living realities.